Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to what is the Camping Universe Dirt Slinger 80. My name is Gareth McAllister, and welcome to this event here at Eldora Speedway with these pickup trucks going around this dirt-covered oval. It's going to be one crazy night, lot of sideways action, and I'm bringing you this broadcast live in 1080p 60 FPS on the Team Squad network. Now, we've just had some drivers chuck in some brilliant times in qualifying, and they are just ready to get out there for Heat 1. So the way this format is going to work is we are going to have a small, I believe, 15-lap run here with Heat 1, and then we're going to have half the drivers and the other half in Heat 2, and then that will, the results of both of those will be calculated up, and then we'll have a very short break, possibly talk to the winners of those heats, and then we will go to our 80-lap feature, which will be one hell of a ride. I am guaranteeing you of that. And we're going to get a nice rundown of the grid now, as we have in Heat 1, we are going to have Jesse Atkinson, followed by, I believe Brady Floyd is actually going to be in second position because they are going to take the odd numbers, and I'm not sure that my timing software has distinguished between the two. It has not, so we're going to say Brady Floyd is starting second, Brett Murphy will be in third, Josiah Strauss will be in fourth, Ryan Ziegler in fifth, Derek Stanley in sixth, and it's not even showing any of that. This is getting... Oh, there it is. And we are going to have John Boyer, I believe, or Bauer, I believe, starting in 7th place. We only have 14 trucks joining us on the grid tonight, so fairly small field at the moment, unfortunately for this one, but certainly on the dirt, probably couldn't have expected a much bigger grid. Unless all 14 are going to go out, in which case I will read the grid again, and I will also be confuddled. As the drivers get a final word from race control. From the admins in this league telling them when and where not to have an accident, for the benefit of the viewers at home and myself in the broadcast booth. I'm sure this will be a fantastic one to watch either way. All right, no, it looks like we might have 14. Wow, all right. I'm going to start that again. Aspinall is going to start in first. Atkinson is starting in first. Aspinall is in second. Brady Floyd follows up. After that, in third, Jared Ziegler in fourth, Brett Murphy, Luke Estrella fifth and sixth, Josiah Strauss in seventh, Mitchell Mummer in eighth, Brian Ziegler in ninth, Doug Newbinging in 10th, Derek Stanley in 11th, Ryan McDonnell in 12th, John Boyer in 13th, and Chris Sawyer in 14th. So there we go. That's the actual grid, and that's me knowing what I'm talking about for once. And we're going to get this party rolling in due time. So Jesse Atkinson, I believe a newcomer to this league. He's going to start it out with the pole position. Not quite getting there, though. Tyler Aspinall with a great launch on the outside. Already three-wide action as Brett Murphy takes it way down to the bottom there. Jesse stuck in the middle. Not quite going to get the runoff he wanted as Tyler Aspinall goes round the outside. Jared Ziegler follows him through. They're sideways all over the place. That looked like Newbinging was quite sideways there at the back. He's going to send it in deep on the inside line. Maybe make something happen. As it looks like Strayer's going to be caught up on the wall there for a little bit. The front few places are going to get sorted out fairly quickly. Espinal taking a nice run as looks like Ziegler gets stuck up in the wall there. Jesse Atkinson trying to take advantage, not quite able to make it stick. As surprising he got a run off, quite the run that he did. Now lap times here we have seen have been only 20 seconds, or even under 20-second laps. So very, very quick laps here at Eldora. This three-car battle for the lead. We can't look away as Ziegler got into the outside wall and Jesse thought about it and thought better of it. Not quite getting exactly what he wants out of that truck, it looks like, for Jared Ziegler. But he's going to make the move anyway. Espinal has to tail it around the outside. Just a little bit of a tap to the front and the rear, but amazing managing to make it stick to the outside there. As Jesse's looking to take advantage of the awkwardness and the bit of a battle going on. Jared way up high. Look at the sideways action going on in these trucks already. The Heat 1. Oh, and there's a bit of a bobble from Jared Ziegler. FC definitely looking to take advantage. Yellow flag is out. There we go. Alright, we're going to show our software is doing something pretty fantastic at the moment. Showing a lot of people involved in a crash. And when I say a lot, I mean everyone, for reasons that I don't understand. So we're going to follow along here with Stanley and see what happened. If anything did indeed happen, well, something must have happened to cause the caution to come out. And, yep, bit of a love tap, but nothing major. Looks like it was actually in front of them. Oh, my timing software is going crazy, saying everyone on track has gone berserk and crashed out, and I know that's not true. So we're going to go Strauss. Did Strauss have an incident there? I have to have a look. Thought I saw smoke from earlier up, but I mean, dirt's all over this place, so I can't really tell. I'm not sure what brought that one out. Oh, here we go. Who was that just then? Someone came down. That was Chris Sawyer. I'm going to assume that he was involved some way, somehow. He came down pit road. Boy, it's a big hit to the outside wall. And it hits the inside wall, brings it down, and I guess that caused a caution. Unless there was something we weren't seeing. We went back to green, and I apologize. I was too busy looking for where the accident was. Tyler Espinal leading from Jared Ziegler. Brady Floyd making his way into third place. Jesse Atkinson into fourth now from that. Doug Newbinging fighting Strayer on the outside. That's fifth and sixth respectively. And there's a big lunge to the inside there as Brett Murphy goes way down. So does Derek Stanley trying to follow him through on that nice low line. Looks like some of the dirt is being scrubbed off from the high side already. Sideways action from Stanley, incredibly sideways. Able to make it stick and hold it down. We haven't seen any spins out of these drivers yet. Not really, so it's been great to see. A lot of tight grips on those wheels. I can be sure of that, and so can you, I'm sure, in the spectator area. Five laps to go in Heat 1. Make that 4 as they come across the line. Tyler Espinal feeling a whole lot of pressure from Jared Ziegler behind him. Chevrolet, Ford, your top three. Toyota nowhere to be seen except for Mitchell Muma, your first Toyota in 7th, and we're going to have another caution come out. It's showing as Bauer having a crash and gets very sideways. Doesn't seem to have a crash, so it was probably for... Oh, there it is. Never mind, the timing software was slightly further behind than I thought. John Bauer just gets into Strauss and round they go. Unfortunate one to see there. But luckily not too much damage at all, and it looks like they're just gonna get it back going. So, we are going to have Tyler Aspinall starting out front with 3 laps to go in this one. I believe it will actually be a green-white checkered. Unless they are not. I'm assuming they're doing them in heats. It's information I should have checked. However, it's information I didn't think I'd need. Either way, it's going to be fantastic racing as we go with 3 laps left. Aspinall, your leader, is going to be followed closely on the front row by Jared Ziegler, Brady Floyd, Jesse Atkinson behind them, and Doug Newbegin and Brett Murphy, your third row. As the lights have gone out on the pace truck, he comes down pit road. And there's the green flag. Tyler Aspinall with a bit of a checkup there, but still able to keep it out in front of Ziegler. Although Ziegler says, you know what, send it, buddy. Here he goes, trying to make it work. Brady Floyd out of nowhere trying to make that 3 wide. Not quite able to make it stick. No run coming off the bottom on the dirt. Look at Ziegler go sideways. Looks like Brady Floyd was caught up somehow. No caution. He was stuck sideways the wrong direction in the wall, getting pushed by several other trucks, but no cautions to speak of coming out of that one. So that's quite interesting to see, as we've got Tyler Espinal still followed closely by Jesse Atkinson now, actually. Final lap, Jared Ziegler fallen back slightly, as Jesse is the newcomer, is looking to take down Tyler Espinal, who has been fantastic all season long, as we're here on the dirt and Jesse goes into the wall. That's not going to allow him to do it. There goes Tyler Espinal for the win for Heat 1. On top of Jesse Atkinson, Jared Ziegler, Doug Newbegin, and Ben McDonnell, your top 5. For Heat 1. Or did they decide? It looks like they decided there weren't enough attendance, so they might have chosen to just put the 2 heats together. It looks like that's exactly what's happened. We're going to go straight into the warm-up here. But we will see if we can talk to Aspinall. We can We will ask him if he wants to be interviewed. He might want to keep his head in the game. Yes, we do have Tyler Aspinall. What a legend coming in. Here we go. Welcome up to the broadcast booth, Tyler.
Gareth, it's been a while, man.
It has actually. It's been a little bit longer than I'd like to admit because you've had a few rough weeks, but that certainly looked like you were able to hold it together there. I mean,
Yeah,
what's
I think it was just really a matter of holding that top side, I think.
Yeah, that's we saw a lot of trucks still hit the wall on the outside there, but it didn't seem to actually cost them a whole lot of time. The do you think you're actually gonna make the inside work here coming to the feature, or are you gonna just keep it to the high side and hope you can pass someone through sheer willpower?
Um, I think the only time you're going to be seeing the inside is whenever we're trying to make moves on people. I think because everybody's going to be trying to rim ride here, the inside is going to be really the only way you can pass, or really the middle won't be anything because you can't get a big enough run on corner entry to try to clear yourself on corner exit. It's just a matter of trying to be faster than whoever's in front of you, really. It's probably the best way I can put it.
All right. Well, I think you know what? We're gonna do it anyway. Would you like to give a shout out to anyone for that, even though it was only a heat race? Certainly still a win nonetheless. So, do you want to give a shout out to any of them? Any people supporting you behind the scenes for now?
Really, Far Hauler Dirt for letting me run their logos on my truck this week. I really appreciate that. I think they're watching back home in North Carolina. So, hey guys, how's it going? Four Cloak Media, Pierce Graphics, and Garrett for not finishing off that slide job earlier in the heat race. Thank you, man.
Definitely looked like it was very close to go there for.
Yeah, it was. It was scary.
All right. Well, we're gonna let you go, get yourself warmed up, and hopefully we might even see you back here again after this 80 lap feature event.
Yes, sir. Thank you, Gareth.
All right, that was Tyler Aspinall, who was there showing us just what can happen when you're out front on the dirt. It definitely looks like it's a struggle, but to hold this down. But we will get back to everyone when the feature is about to get underway. So see you then. are back after a very short break as we get ready to roll through the grid for what appears like it's going to be quite the night for sure. We get ready for 80 laps around here. Lucas Straya starting on pole, followed by Ben McDonnell in second position, Doug Newbinging in third, Jared Ziegler in fourth, Jesse Atkinson in fifth, Tyler Aspinall in sixth, Derek Stanley in seventh, Brady Floyd in eighth, Josiah Strauss in ninth, John Bauer in 10th. 11th, we have Chris Sawyer, Ryan Ziegler in 12th. We have Mitchell Mumma bringing up 13th and Brett Murphy in 14th as we get ready to send them out once again. I believe there was an inversion with the top six. That's why you're seeing the top six as different positions as they got inverted for the final feature race. Give the other guys up front a little bit more of an opportunity to keep their trucks out ahead of them as we get ready. And here we go, Lucas Straya taking a huge lunge, not waiting at all. Jared Ziegler following him through. Aspinall on the high side, just barely, we just talked to him, just barely not getting into contact with Ben McDonnell, sorry, as Doug Newbingen goes to the inside of him and makes that one stick. McDonnell not quite happy about it, almost getting into the back of him there. Brady Floyd under fire from Jesse Atkinson, and we saw Atkinson have a whole lot of speed heading into the feature here, so I'm sure Jesse's going to want to make some big moves when they can. John Bauer now looking to get around Brady Floyd as well, as trucks are all over the place. Derek Stanley trying to get involved. Brett Murphy sending his way into the mix. Looked like he got a bit too far sideways there. Had to check it on up to keep that truck rolling in the right direction. And there is a whole lot of action happening up just slightly ahead of him, as Strauss is making his way around Stanley, or trying to. Fast Canadian down on the low side. Not able to make it happen though, as Strauss is really high. Taps the wall just slightly. We're going to go and, ooh, side by side drifting synchronization. Give them a score out of 100. I'd say 98. Not quite perfect. A little bit more sideways action necessary for a score like that on my scorecard tonight. As we keep following Josiah Strauss, John Boyer, we're going to go back up front with Jared Ziegler. Now he has got over a second lead of Tyler Aspinall, so fantastic stuff from him to make that truck work the way he intended it. Aspinall with massive sideways. I'm liking the paint job that he's brought to this race now, as Brett Murphy, we see, has an accident, bringing out the caution flag on lap 7. Sends it in, bit of sideways. Looking fine, looking not so fine. The two trucks behind him. And Strauss just giving him a bit of a shove, not able to avoid it, and shoves him into Stanley. That's an unfortunate series of events. Oh, and Ziegler. Ryan Ziegler gets caught up in that one as well. Oh, no. Oh. Oh, we hate to see it. As we've seen that happen quite a bit with Ryan Ziegler throughout the season. Unfortunately, he typically has a truck that's certainly not a bad one. Certainly doing an alright job of it around most circuits we go to, but typically finding himself involved in incidents, almost all of them not caused by his own actions, so definitely not something we want to see from anyone out there, but just an unfortunate series of events, I think. leading up to that one as Strauss was trying to make that move and Murphy just drifted up the racetrack a bit in front of him there. So we're going to get ready to get it sent down again. Jared Ziegler out front, Tyler Aspinall on his inside. Interesting choice there, although possibly not, depending on how good of a slide job Tyler Aspinall is willing to do. Lucas Strayer in third, Doug Newbinging in fourth, Brady Floyd and Jesse Atkinson rounding out your top three rows as Ziegler gets the big jump. Never mind what I said earlier. Aspinall not able to hold it with him. Lucas Strayer trying to send it on the outside. Aspinall's got Newbinging. Newbinging has been absolutely hucking it down on that low line. We've seen him just sending it in deep, and he's probably been one of the only trucks we've seen so far really make that inside line work as well as he wants it to. I say that just as Jesse Atkinson makes up 2 spots on the inside line, so I guess I don't know what I'm talking about. As Newbinging was under fire just briefly there from Tyler Aspinall, but Aspinall hit the wall, it looked like, I think, as we have another caution come round. It's going to be Ben McDonnell we're looking at. Sideways, down the straight. Certainly not something you want happening. Lock it down, lock it down, lock it down. And bit of a spinner-rooney there. Everyone able to avoid it, so fantastic job from everyone. Just a bit of a self-spin. No worries, butts, or issues. As you saw Chris Sawyer there getting the wave around as he makes his way around the pace truck. Now, I for one have never driven these trucks on dirt before, but I guarantee with the amount of weight they have on them, and I mean, you can see it with the amount that they're stepping out the back end, they're sure looking like a handful out there, but these drivers definitely have the skill to tame that handful. I have no doubt about that. As Jared Ziegler, Doug Newbinging, your outside row, Tyler Aspinall, Jesse Atkinson, Lucas Strayer, and Brady Floyd make up your top 3 rows. As Ziegler gets on the power a little bit too hard, sending it a bit wide. Newbinging taking a very interesting line. That might actually pay off just there. Jesse Anderson stuck in the wall. I say stuck. Looked like it propelled him forward, so that's certainly something I didn't expect to see as Aspinall tries to go a little bit lower down as well. As Jesse Atkinson making that high line work, Doug Newbinging probably has to make his way. There he goes into the high side. Low side not seeming to have the distance. I say the distance, the run off the corner that we need to be seeing to be able to make these passes work, as there's love taps going all around for Eldora. And we have another caution. John Bauer showing a bit of a love tap from both sides there. Sends it in deep. Hits the wall. McDonald's behind him. And no, it doesn't look like any touch. Fantastic stuff not to actually touch him there from McDonald. We'll watch that spin. Good stuff, boys. As that looked like it could have gone a little bit interesting towards the end there as Chris Sawyer made his way back up and around. And I believe he's going to get another wave around here. Now, if you're wondering, I believe Brett Murphy has parked it for the night, and I believe he's decided that he doesn't want to be sideways anymore. As Chris Sawyer gets another wave around. So Jared Ziegler still holding on to that first spot, almost leading from the offset. Lap 20 now of 80. Jesse Atkinson in second, Doug Newbing and Tyler Aspinall, your second row. And your third row will be taken up by Lucas Straya and Brady Floyd. Let us know, fans at home, who you're cheering on, who you're rooting for. I will definitely give them a shout out. And we will focus on the camera on them for a little bit here. Give them some TV love and see them as we go. Get ready to go again. Jared Ziegler with a nice launch as usual. We've seen out of him get nice launches every single week he starts on the top spot. Jesse Atkinson getting a little bit too far sideways. Wow. Tyler Aspinall Newbinging following him through. Straya, Jesse Anderson with that almost 90-degree lock, it looked like. Was somehow able to not spin that truck out, but he's going to have a whole lot of ground to cover up now. It looks like he tapped the outside wall just a little bit once again. Bit of a two-wide battle going on a little bit further back. Mitchell Mumma and John Bauer, or Ben McDonald. Alright, well, they're going to sort that out quicker than I expected, as McDonald is just riding that wall there. Oh, Stanley getting into the wall. Bauer's going to try and make a move following the confusion after having his spin. Not able to make it stick, but they are going to go sideways. Ooh. And there it is. Saw it happen. No caution. Keep it down. Keep going. Ben McDonald, what a legend. Fantastic stuff. We're going to go back up front here. Jared Ziegler, Tyler Aspinall, Doug Newbinging, all incredibly close to one another. Newbinging still working that inside line, working it well. As I say that, he gets caught in the outside wall, able to make it stick down. Jesse has made his way back up into fourth position. Almost took advantage of Doug Newbinging. There's a lot of wall love taps happening at Eldora Speedway tonight. As these trucks are going sideways, sideways, and more sideways. Aspinall tries a little bit of a lower line. Obviously saw how it was working for Newbinging and decided, hey, I want to join in on that action. Sick of hitting this wall. So we'll see how that works. You can see the dirt is whisking away from some of the more popular grooves. Namely that high side, a little bit of low side as well though, as it looks like Ziegler's going to start catching some slower traffic. And that is going to be Brett Murphy, so he has made his way back out. We thought he'd parked it, but great to see him back out. We always love to see the no give up attitude from every driver on the field, so that's great to see him there as he keeps working the inside line, because as we've seen most of the night, the high side is what the leaders prefer. As Ziegler makes his way away, Newbinging going to have to be careful of getting into the lap traffic as we have another caution come out. It's going to be John Bauer. And that was a nice looking slide around there. Start sliding. And he goes round. Well, I can tell you from what I know, Bauer is certainly no slouch. So these trucks certainly must be a handful. There's no ifs or buts about that. So all I can say is once again how amazing these drivers are to keep these trucks underneath them for the most part. as we get them stacked up close together once again. It's going to be Ziegler, Aspinall, your 1 and 2 positions. Newbinging and Atkinson, 3 and 4. Strayer and Floyd, 5 and 6. Ben McDonald and Derek Stanley is going to be 7th and 8th. So great run from McDonald. I haven't seen him up near the front for a lot of these races. Not sure if he's a newcomer or not. I believe he is. So great to see newcomers from all walks of life making their way in. To get ready to set them off once again. Green flag. Here they come to the corner. Jared Ziegler. Wow, they fan out 3 wide. A massive change there. As we see Ziegler, Jesse Atkinson, Tyler Aspinall. 1, 2, 3. Tiny gap, and there looks like there's gonna be some very tight racing with Stanley and Strayer going side by side. I believe that's for 6th place. Strayer's gonna keep that position though, that low line. Certainly working for some drivers and not for others. As Murphy almost gets back up into Stanley. That was very, very close. In the background there, McDonald goes round. Oh, that's not what we were wanting to see. Oh, commentator's curse. That had to have been a commentator's curse right there. I apologize for that one. As it looks like Stanley... Oh, was that a little bit of netcode? It might have been. Just a tiny touch. I'm not sure. Get ready to roll them out once again. Ziegler, Atkinson, your front row. Tyler Aspinall, Doug Newbinging, your second row. Brady Floyd, Lucas Strayer, your third row. As there they go, Jared Ziegler, Jesse Atkinson following him, Doug Newbinging getting a great run on that high side, gonna make it stick under Jesse. Looks like the over-under tactic is in effect. Not able to make it happening, hitting the outside wall. Espinal trying to follow them as well. Jesse Atkinson looks like pushing Jared Ziegler, saying, hey, let's get it going here, get away from these guys behind. I'm not liking the look of Newbinging. It's looking dangerous on the inside line. As you can see them fan out behind, single file almost the entire way. Brady Floyd is going to go sideways with Strayer on the outside. Nothing doing. Certainly you can see the angles that these trucks are getting. Absolutely phenomenal. Saw Aspinall unfortunately get involved in that one as Jesse got just hit and spun around and Tyler just came in and got into Strayer a little bit there as well. That was crazy. I can't believe how long that Jesse was sitting there backwards, and yet no one ran into them. That should be better. Gonna have to be quick because these caution laps don't last long. Oh boy, we're done. Here we go. They're side by side. All three of them looking for some room, some same real estate. Jared just gets way too much lock into it, tries to get it back, and just collects Jesse. Unfortunately, all of that went down. We're going to get ready to go green. Newbinging and Ziegler, top two. Floyd on the back of Newbinging, obviously saying, come on, let's go, let's go. Straya next to Floyd on the inside line, and then Muma and Stanley. Nice to see them in the third row, respectively, on the outside and the inside, as Newbinging gets a good jump on the high side. Ziegler going from low to high. Floyd going from high to low as they touch. Ziegler getting into the wall due to that. You also saw another truck slightly further back get into the wall as well. I believe that was Muma, but yes it was, but able to keep it going, keep it pointed in the right direction as they follow Bauer. And we go back up front because this is where all the action is. Straya and Floyd and Stanley and Bauer and all, just everyone having close racing side by side. It looks like Stanley's trying to go side by side, maybe a little bit too far back, but from that camera angle, certainly looked like he was going to be. As these trucks are bouncing all over the place to get those little bumps on the outside, on the high line, when it goes near the wall. You can just see where the dirt has been scraped off the high side here, as trucks are using it constantly. The field getting quite stretched out here, as Newbinging is able to keep a 7/10 gap over Ziegler, so certainly not too far in front to the point where nothing can happen. Ziegler is over a second ahead of Brady Floyd though, so certainly not looking like there's too many battles happening on track right now, as we see Muma get caught up in the wall, bits too far sideways, but able to make it stick. Strauss behind him with the same issue. Stanley with Bauer just behind. Wow, Bauer's found some speed. That was a perfect corner exit behind Stanley. As I say that, he's ruined his speed on that corner entry, so nothing much going on there. As it looks like Strauss and Mummer are going to be your closest battle on track at the moment, as they're pretty much side by side. This long green flag run, you can really see the dirt getting scrubbed off and the asphalt peering through. It's going to make it very tricky for these drivers, as the tyres are not sure how grippy they just want to be. The loose stuff of the dirt or the grip of the tarmac, they're not quite sure. We're getting very close to getting into each other. I think Strauss backed out of it because he wasn't sure about going into the high side with Mumma there. Getting a little bit all over the shop, but not too many worries, so at least there's that. Ryan Ziegler now trying to make moves on Mitchell Mumma. That's going to be your closest battle at the moment. Half a second. See on the inside line there, that is not for position. That's Brett Murphy. He's going to be a few laps down here. As Ziegler looks like he's struggling to hold on that high side line. Not quite going as sideways, obviously not too comfortable with the truck right now. Make our way. Oh, as we were about to say that, Murphy was looking a bit too sideways, or maybe that's just my imagination, because somehow Murphy's getting it done regardless. We're going to go back up front and see the line that Newbiging has taken. Yeah, you can see there. He's going from low to high. Now that's quite the interesting line. I've only seen a few drivers try to make that sort of line work. And there's a caution coming out. We just looked away from a roundabout where it's showing it was. That's going to be Mitchell Mumma. Just going around on the high side. Nipping the wall. Bit of a love tap. In comes Murphy. Mitchell Mumma's trying to lock it down because he knew he was going to spin out. And in came Murphy, just not quite able to give enough room. And that's going to result in the caution. Simple as that. 17 laps to go in this one. The Dirt Slinger 80, brought to you by Camping Universe. Certainly give a shout out to any drivers that you are rooting for in this one, as we like to see full spectator stands. These Camping Universe trucks certainly putting on a show every single week. And if I am allowed to say so, especially this week with the sideways action going on. Absolutely incredible stuff to watch. I, for one, am having an absolute blast. So it should be interesting to see what kind of strategy, I guess, Newbinging puts into play, as we've seen him use pretty much the entire oval. He's chosen the outside line, so we'll see how that works. As next to him is Jared Ziegler, Brady Floyd and Lucas Strayer, third and fourth. John Bauer and Derek Stanley in fifth and sixth. Get ready to head them off once again. And there they go. Newbinging swinging the back end out as he gets on the power. Something fierce. Jared Ziegler following him from the inside to the outside. Actually amazing to make that one stay where he wanted it to stay. Derek Stanley is going to be the first truck to try and something on the low line, getting a little bit loose. The transition, and there it goes into Floyd. Bauer's going to get involved. Strauss got a little bit of that one. As we're going to have a look at Brady Floyd, Stanley, and Brad wasn't ready for him to get loose on the high side. Allowed enough room if he was Brian just barely making it through there. A little bit of a tap, a little bit of sparks, but nothing major at all from that one. So yeah, certainly looked like Brady left enough room if there was going to be enough, if Bauer was going to keep the truck sorry, not Bauer. If Stanley was going to keep the truck underneath him, but Stanley got a little bit loose, had to bring it down, and unfortunately, that's just how that one plays out. As Mumma's going to get the wave around this time. So during some of these cautions, I like to bring out the leaderboard on the left there to show you all how we are currently trucking and where your favorite driver is. Much easier to read that than the ticker at the top, but it does take up more of the screen, so I like to have the ticker at the top during the actual racing event. Newbinging, Ziegler going to be 1 and 2, Stanley Strayer 3 and 4, Bauer and Ziegler going to be 5 and 6. As Ziegler gets not the run he wanted, Newbinging able to just run away with it, able to pull up in front of Stanley though. Stanley follows him. lot of trucks behind him getting all sorts of sideways. Which is exactly what you want to see. I'm sure there's an accident behind. Brian Ziegler, Mitchell Mumma getting involved. That will be that. Oops. That is my mistake. Let's go back to it. Mistake a little bit there with the cameras, with software, but we're going to get it rolled here and see exactly what happened. It was coming off the low line. Ziegler high. Ziegler losing it. Almost nowhere to go. And they just get collected into each other. Strauss happy. I'm certainly I can guarantee, certainly Josiah Strauss is happy to see them not come up into the high wall there and ruin his day. So it will be Newbiging, Ziegler, Stanley, Strayer, Bauer, and Floyd, your top 3 rows, coming in with 5 laps to go. This will certainly be quite the 5 laps to go. I wouldn't be surprised. Newbinging chose the high line, quite an interesting choice. Personally, I would have chosen the low line to avoid that potential dive bomb from Ziegler, but maybe he's thinking he can keep it going on the high side, or even get a big enough jump to the point where he will be out front by the time the first corner comes around. There they go. Newbinging out front. There's the jump we were talking about. Ziegler not quite able to get it. Strayer following just behind. Stanley trying the inside line. Bauer's just behind him. 4 laps to go. All three of the guys I just mentioned, all hitting the top side wall. Stanley not able to hold it down beneath the high groove. Gets loose, has to check it on up. As it looks like Bauer got the wrong direction into the wall. Floyd was trying to take advantage just then. Not quite able to make it happen. As Bauer's going to keep that 4th spot. All eyes are on this battle quite at the moment, as it looks like Bauer's not quite able to make it stick, but we're going to go slightly up front as Ziegler is getting hounded by Lucas Strayer. Ziegler a little bit lower, a little bit looser than Strayer is. White flag this time by Doug Newbinging with a solid lead of 1.8. He has checked out. He's going to have this win, barring any spins. We check on board with him, and here he comes across the line. Jared Ziegler will follow him through, followed by Strayer, and Floyd will pick it up over Bauer, who is on the inside wall. Obviously a little bit too far sideways, coming to the checkered flag. But there is your race winner right there on your screen. Doug Newbinging bringing it home. As that certainly was something to behold. A lot of celebrations going on down in the infield. And I am not surprised at all the way that this one has panned out. So we will grab Lucas Strayer, our 3rd place driver. I That's not what we see. That's better. As we talk to Lucas Strayer, if we can get him up in the booth. Looks like he is ready to have a chat. We are going to wait to see if hopefully a couple of the drivers make their way in before we talk to Lucas, though, just as we can get prepared to have a chat with Jared and Doug up. All right. As we're going to bring up, we'll get Strayer up in here. Here we go. Lucas Strayer, got a copy.
Hey, what's up?
What is going on? What is up indeed? Fantastic race from you, my friend. Found yourself way back in the mid-pack for most of the race, able to clock it in. Some Australian magic we're used to seeing. What was the main reason for that? Just keeping it clean, or?
Well, as you see on dirt, I am a trash panda. I had no idea what I was doing. The 00 literally had to teach me how to drive this track. Um, so my goal was I just wanted to keep my top five streak going. Every race I race in, I've gotten a top five. So I'm just trying to keep that going. And I was accepting this wasn't gonna happen, so I just like, oh, I'll just see what happens. Then everyone kept wrecking. I'm like, well, let's see what I can do. And then I know, I think Brandy had a faster truck than me. It was unfortunate he got wrecked. So, but yeah, I'll take third. I get to come up here and hang out with you.
we we appreciate that, and we love hanging out with you as well, Lucas. Who would you like to give a shout out to for this third place? And if you have any more insight, please tell us, because you know what? Before you give a shout out, I'm gonna say one more thing because I should have done it already. How was the fact that the track was it getting looser and looser as the dirt went away towards the end there, or what was your thoughts on that?
Oh, it was like at the end there, the whole high line was terrible. I think I was running like more middle line. Like, I mean, I wanted to run middle line. Like, you kind of see how Doug was like really diving in there, sliding up. I was just kind of hanging on. I I can't drive these things to save my life. I was just hanging on, hoping for everyone to fight behind me, and I could just kind of slide through. But yeah, so shout out to Adria. I know everybody got wrecked but me, so I will take that number one spot today because I didn't wreck. Got Sean Howell Designs, Grip Marketing, the amazing broadcaster. Am I missing anyone?
You asking me?
I don't know this league. I don't know. Is anyone you want to shout out? Let's turn it back on you. Do you want to shout out anyone?
Oh, you don't have to do that. I mean, I shout out to all the viewers. I can't thank them enough. I mean, there wouldn't be a show without them. So, 100% thank them, and thank for you for putting on a show as well as all the other drivers in Camping Universe Truck Series. It's my pleasure.
Hey, I gotta keep it entertaining for you. So I think next week Chicagoland, so that'll be entertaining, and then we go playoff racing. So I don't know if I'm in the playoffs officially, but I saw we get a trophy, and I want that trophy. I want to give it to my parents and say I finally accomplished something.
Well, I'd say you would be in the playoffs considering you've already had a win in the series and you're in third position in the points before heading into this track. So, I'd say you're in there.
Woo! Let's go playoff time.
All right, Lucas, it's been fantastic talking to you, and we will talk to you, I'm sure, in due time.
I hope so. See you later, man.
All right, that was Lucas Strayer bringing it home in third. Now we're going to talk to Jared Ziegler, bringing it home in second position. Ziegler, got a copy?
Yes, I do.
Well, Jared, how was that one? You were leading for pretty much the entirety of the race, and unfortunately, just having it get away from you You think it had anything to do with getting a few too many love taps in the wall on the high side?
No, it's got to do with other people's head. I mean, if you're not clear, you're not clear. And I lost the lead from that, and I will admit I made a mistake coming out of turn 4, and I believe it was a double zero that I ended up wrecking, and it ended up taking out two really fast drivers who deserved a much better finish with Jesse and Tyler. But I mean, yeah, we had a fast truck. We had nothing for Douglas at the ends. I'm just not a dirt guy, so I know how to run it a bit, but I don't have enough experience to beat some of the true dirt guys. And he ran a really good race there at the end, and I'm just glad I was able to hold off on all those restarts to finish second still.
Yeah, well, we were going to talk to you about that unfortunate incident with Jesse Anderson there. It looked like you just got a little bit loose, and yeah, as you said, unfortunate to collect those drivers up there.
Yeah, he put us in an unfortunate spot by putting us in the wall, and then he made a mistake with it, and that allowed the 70 to get a run on us. Then the 70 slid job both of us, and saw the 70. I'm like, oh, okay, the double zero must have been gone. Because I know the 70 was behind him, so I'm like, I never got a 3 wide call or anything, so he must have had a bad run out of 2 or something, and I tried to cross over the 70, got loose, and then there's a double zero right there, and unfortunately hit him in the right rear. So that's definitely my bad. Like I said, I'm sorry about that for him and Tyler, who's both of them deserved a top 5 finish this race. They both had a really good battle in the heat race, and I was lucky I was able to get the track position with the inverts, and was hoping I can hold them off. But it is what it is. We'll come back next week, I believe, at Chicago. So back to tracks that you know I feel like I can be competitive at. So congratulations to Douglas, and once again, sorry for Jesse and Tyler.
All right. Well, would you like to give any shout outs, sponsors, friends, family for the second place that you haven't already talked about?
Uh, Yeah, Fanatec, Steel Series, MSM or MSR, rebranded last year, and I still can't figure that out or I can't wrap that around in my brain. Uh, but Game Universe, our admins, everyone in the league joining this week. We had a short field, only like 14 guys. So we only had one heat, which kind of sucked. I wish we could have split into two. It would have been more fun, in my opinion. But hey, it is what it is. Hopefully, we can get back next week. It's a dirt track, so understandably so that we're not going to have as many people show up. But the Team Good Squad for broadcasting, you for being a nice guy and interviewing me, and that's Douglas on the win, and that's about it.
Oh, well, thank you, Jared. We absolutely appreciate it, and we love your company. We hope to see you here in the one of the top 3 spots, preferably in the top spot in due course. We'll see you then, I'm sure.
Yep, there it is. Team Goon Squad's officially rooting for me to win the race, so hopefully I can bring it for you.
All right, sounds good. We will see you then, I'm sure.
Yep, see ya.
All right, and we are going to get the man of the hour up here. Okay, what's going on, son?
How we doing, Ozzy, man? How we doing?
I'm doing amazing, but I bet not as amazing as you are.
Heck yeah, man. That was great. Loved it. Oh, man. Whew. It
You
was
mu
the best part of the race tonight. I was doing thing for the Boy Scouts, and I was like, if I make it home, I'll join. Because I knew I was going to be good at this track, and lo and behold.
Yeah, well,
It
interesting. I did actually want to talk a couple of things, and one of them aptly being that you were the only one to really make the low line work, especially towards the end. You were going from high to low and then back to high again. Like it seemed like no one else was able to make that sort of line work. Is that just dirt track experience, or was the car just, or the truck, sorry, absolutely perfect for you, or how?
Yeah, I mean, I'm pretty decent at trucks at dirt. I mean, I'll definitely say that. At Bristol, here when we do fixed officials here, at least I feel always like I'm pretty good, top 5 running. But I mean, normally this track, I love the big block modifieds here. I love them to death. So basically, I just said, all right, I'm just gonna use that line, and evidently that line here is top 1 and 2, and then you dive it as low as you can on the bottom. You just let it roll back up to the top, and as soon as you catch back on the berm, then you start gassing it back up. So as soon as I realized you could do that during the warm up, I was just practicing it over and over again. And once I realized it does work, that's when I just kind of took off and went with it.
So I'm assuming that you didn't tell your fellow competitors that that was the way to do it.
Oh no, why would I? I mean, I like my own style. You know what I mean? I knew for a fact no one's gonna be down there because no one's stupid enough to do that if you don't know what you're doing. So I mean, the only person I was really worried about this race, from what I was told, is Jesse Atkinson because he is pretty decent at dirt on this camp, really good at dirt. But I mean, I kind of think he would have probably been able to probably would have been doing what I was doing if he was still in the race at this point. But yeah, I mean, it's just all worked out perfectly because the track, when I got the lead, it was just that perfect time to start making that type of line work, and it was just off to the races with that.
Well, we saw that incident with Jesse Anderson and Jared Ziegler. Now, we talked to Jared very briefly about it, and he was talking about how he just didn't expect Jesse to be there. And it looked to me like his truck got a little bit loose, but he wasn't saying much about that. So, did you think that you played a role in any of that happening, taking it 3 wide, going into the inside there, or were you
I mean,
just, yeah?
in my defense, like, this is what I looked at, right? Like, because they came up 1 and 2, right? And Jesse kind of did slide up into Jared. I'll give him that. You know what I mean? And I think Jared might have been a little mad. You know, kind of try to rough him up, maybe roughed him up a little bit too much. I don't know what happened there, but I mean, it was just they were so slow, and I got such a huge run. And as you can see from how the rest of the race went, I knew for a fact I could make that bottom 3 and just drive it in extremely deep and then slide right up the top. I knew I could do that, and I was just fast enough. It was just so perfect. They were right on top of each other to the point where it's like, all right, just whip her in there and drive it right up. So I mean, I don't think I was even near any of those guys when the incident happened. I think that was just kind of their own thing. Like maybe Jesse might have been a little lower if I wasn't there. I don't know. I mean, that to me probably would be more of a racing incident more than anything between those two guys, in my opinion. But I don't know. I'll have to look at the replay. But that's at least what I saw in my mirror.
All right. Well, ever the pacifist, I guess I should say.
Yeah,
um,
I mean,
yeah,
some good
absolutely. That's the
viewing
best way
moments.
to
So,
play it. So yeah, no,
mm-hmm.
I don't think you were much in. Well, I shouldn't say, should I? I'm a commentator, so I should never.
Can't believe it.
Yeah, no.
Biased comp. Get him
Yeah,
over.
I know,
Can't believe it.
right?
It's
Oh
over.
God, what have I
Fire him.
done?
It's
Nah.
over.
Fantastic to see you up here as always, Doug. We love having you up here with us. So,
Mm-hmm.
who would you like to give a shout? Wow, what was that? Whatever. Who would you like to give a shout out to? Friends, family, sponsors for this first place once again.
Heck yeah, dude. Lucky Duck Motorsports, Roasted Gems Coffee, best coffee around. Look out. They're on the market. Better buy that right now. Do it now. I mean, why not? Finlay hats, Natalie's orange juice, and yeah, man. Trap Shade Designs, Fail Racing for making this beautiful paint scheme. Again, love it. It glows, it shines, it does everything you want it to be. Makes you just that much more confident when you slide it up in the corners, get it all nice and dirty. It looks even better in my opinion. But yeah, and then all the boys at Racing, John, all those guys. Heck yeah, a lot of fun. And then obviously you for putting on this amazing broadcast. By the way, great broadcast. Love it.
Oh, I can't take the credit for the action that you guys put on display. I'm just sitting here watching and putting my my Australian take over the top.
That's all that matters. The Australian take. That's where it really matters.
All right, well, absolutely amazing to talk to you as always, and I'm sure we'll see you again up here in a very short order, I'd imagine, because
Oh yeah, I
judging on
mean
the form.
Chicagoland. Let me tell you that. I mean, if you want to see, you thought this was a good track for me. Just wait until that track, dude. It's over. It's over. Pack the
All right,
bags. I wouldn't even show up next week. Honestly, it's just gonna be a snooze fest.
can't wait to
I mean,
call the caution for Douglas Newbinging.
yeah.
Oh well, friendly
Man, all
banter.
right. Yeah, heck yeah, man. Oh god.
All right, Douglas, we'll catch you later. Have a good one, and we'll see you up here soon.
Yeah, see you next week, man. Always good talking to you, man.
All right, and that is going to do it for your interviews tonight. Go ahead and look at the results. Actually bring them up. Nope. Okay, they're not coming up. That's a bit of a shame. But anyway, we had Doug Newbinging, Jared Ziegler in second, Lucas Strayer in third, Brady Floyd in fourth, John Bauer in fifth, Derek Stanley in sixth, Mitchell Mumma in seventh, Messiah Strauss in eighth, Chris Sawyer in ninth, 10th we had Brian Ziegler, 11th Brett Murphy, 12th Tyler Aspinall, 13th we had Jesse Atkinson, and 14th was Ben McDonnell. On behalf of Team Goon Squad and the Camping Universe Truck Series, it has been an absolute pleasure to bring you this dirt track experience, extravaganza I should say, with these pickup trucks, and we shall see you for the big 1.5-mile speedway of Chicagoland, same time, same day, same place next week. Good night, everyone.